And away we go.
Alright, so, how's your day?
Fabulous.
Yeah, same here. It's a pretty sunny day. It's a nice warm day today, so I can't really complain. But
Yeah?
anyway, what is in today's news today?
Oh boy. Do I have a story for you?
Okay, let's start off with square one. What is the story that you have for me?
Israel says it carries out operation against gunmen attacking Druze fighters in Syria.
Really? Really?
Really,
Okay.
yeah?
Is there anything more on the story?
Yes. On April 30th, Israel's defense ministry said the military struck an armed group preparing attacks on Druze minorities near Sana'a, Syria. Israel acted after escalating clashes between Druze fighters and pro-government gunmen who attacked Druze communities in Jaramana and Sana'a. Reports state at least 13 people have been unalived, including 11 security forces and 2 Druze residents, amid ongoing sectarian violence south of Damascus. Prime Minister Netanyahu said the operation sent a serious message to Syria and emphasized Israel's commitment to protect Druze communities in Syria and Israel.
Man, Israel, 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 Israel. Personally, I'll be honest, man, I don't see Israel easily giving up and losing at this point. I'm not saying I'm on their side, but I just don't see them losing at this point. Or at least easily giving up.
Yeah,
I mean, I know this war is it's probably gonna take up forever to like conclude, and there's probably gonna be next generation children taking their father's places after, unfortunately. But, still, I do not see this concluding. I don't see Israel losing. Now, losing a bunch of people, yes, but just like losing the war in general, no. Even if they were to lose momentarily, I would ultimately say this. I just don't see them losing. But, you know, I just want to know when this war is going to come to an end. 2030, 2040, 2050, until when we're all just straight up dead. It's just a waste of time on both sides.
yeah.
How about you? Do you have anything?
Well, all I can say is why? What's the point in all of this? Yes, you don't have to agree with what people say, what people do, and of course there is history behind why it has led up to this moment. But it doesn't have to be that way. If people keep going with this violence, it's just going to continue. It's just going to lead to more violence. As stupid it may sound to some people, that's just the reality of things. If we encourage the violence, it's going to continue. And if people see the profitability that comes into it, and that there is profit made in violence like this, they're just going to keep going until eventually they get bored. And the only way for them to stop is if it actually impacts them in the worst way possible. Until they get a taste of their own medicine, they're just going to keep going. And I'm just tired of hearing all about this nonsense.
Yeah, honestly, me too. I'm just tired of hearing about it. But Jeremy, isn't violence always the answer?
No, violence is never the answer.
Yeah, I agree also. It's like ultimately speaking, people are just gonna keep fighting until they get what they want. And yeah, it's definitely more profitable for people to keep fighting rather than just kind of getting along as brothers and sisters, or just that hippie love that people showed back in the 80s or 60s. I'm not really sure when being a hippie was popular, but still, yeah, pretty much it just is what it is.
And it was what it was.
Yeah, exactly. And ultimately speaking, yeah, you get paid more when people are fighting, but ultimately it's at a cost of people's lives.
Yeah.
And then for a person's troubles, you get a flag with an "I'm sorry" your loved one has passed away, whether that's a son or a daughter or just anyone really, or even your husband, or probably your parents. I don't know.
Yeah, most likely.
Yeah, like you get a flag, and you probably get an arranged funeral, but you get a flag, and I'm sorry, this happened to your child or significant other or parent or sister, brother, anyone. But hey, once more, it is what it is.
It was what it was.
Exactly. So, is there anything else in the news?
Canadian company seeks US permission to start deep sea mining as outcry ensues.
They need U.S. permission to start doing that?
Yes, the metals company, a Canadian mining firm, applied in March 2025 to the United States government to mine deep sea minerals in the Clarion-Clipperton Zone beyond national jurisdiction. The company aims to bypass the International Seabed Authority, which regulates international seabed mining under UNCLOS, a treaty the United States has not ratified. TMC is applying for permits to explore and commercially extract minerals under a 1980 U.S. law governing seabed mining, supported by a recent executive order from the Trump administration.
Hmm, very interesting. Well, as for Canada, I wish them luck in getting exactly what they want. If they need permission from the U.S., I'm pretty sure they can work out something.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, they'll definitely work out something. I don't think the U.S. has a reason to hate Canada, nor does Canada have a reason to hate the U.S. So something will get worked out, possibly, potentially, hopefully, and both parties will get what they want. But yeah, it's like imagine if Trump put in the treaty, but hey, you got to become the 51st state of the United States of America if we let you do this.
yeah.
Then there would be no point because it's like I don't know. It's like if you're already part of us, then that would kind of be no there would kind of be no point to that. But that's just me. But yeah, anyways, I do know that there is no animosity between both sides, and well, both sides will work out something and get what they want ultimately at the end of it all. And do you have any thoughts?
Not much. Just find a way to do something, and it works well, and everyone benefits, and all that stuff.
All right. Yeah, I 100% agree. Yeah, just find a way to work it out, and it'll work out. You know, not like we're gonna start a war because of that, right? But hey, whatever happens, happens. But yeah, is there anything else in the news?
US lost 7 multi-million-dollar drones in Yemen area since March.
Anything more in the news?
The United States has lost 7 MQ-9 Reaper drones in the Yemen area since March 15th, according to a US official. Each MQ-9 Reaper drone cost around 30 million US dollars, leading to significant losses for the United States. The US Navy reported the loss of an A-18E warplane from the USS Harry S. Truman, which injured one sailor.
I want to know. You said seven, right? How do you lose seven drones that cost a lot of money?
I have no idea.
I don't know. You think? I'll be honest. It doesn't say that they were in like combat or something like that. They were trying to protect something. Because if so, that would be reasonable. If you're just not doing anything, bro, then that's just unreasonable. You can lose that amount of stuff that costs that much money. Now, granted, I know that they probably have a bunch of money just stacked up with them and packed up, so like that's not really that big of a deal. But still, how do you lose that something that costs that much money? And just didn't just play it off like, okay, well, it's just another day at work. We lost something. We're just gonna replace it, which they can. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, if you have a lot of money, it doesn't matter what you lose, you can always have the money, which they do, to buy something else, or buy something that's at least similar, or even better than what they had before. That's what happens if people have so much money. They don't care if they lose stuff. They can always get the money which they have to replace it.
That's a good point, and that's also true. That's a good point, and that is also true because, well, most people really don't care if, they lose something as long as they have the money to replace it. Like, for instance, sometimes when I have money, I don't lose things easily. But when I do, I'm just like, I can replace it. When I buy the wrong thing, I'm like, when I buy the wrong thing and then throw the wrong thing that I bought out. When I have money, it's like, okay. I'm like, alright, I can replace it. Doesn't matter to me. So yeah, I get your point, I do. And that's a fair point as well. It's like when you just have that much money, shoot, losing 7 drones don't mean a thing to you. So therefore, I can see, you know, their perspective of a bit. But still, be more careful. Come on. Yeah, but they should still be more careful just due to the simple fact that although they're made of money, you don't always want to be spending that money. But hey, that's just me. Yeah, that's just me. Yeah, but is there anything else in the news?
Let's see what else there is. Managing multiple risk factors can offset hypertension death risk.
Interesting. Is there more in this story?
Yes. Canadian researchers used a mathematical model to study how the potassium to sodium ratio impacts blood pressure. This research addresses typical Western diets that contain high sodium and low potassium. The
Yeah,
model
the water.
suggests increasing dietary potassium relative to sodium may offer better blood pressure control.
Oh
Research
yeah,
suggests adding more potassium-rich foods might impact blood pressure more than just cutting sodium. This implies increasing potassium intake could provide more beneficial for blood pressure management for many people.
well, I will say that the Western diet definitely sucks. You know, we eat terribly.
So true.
Yeah, we eat terribly. We consume a lot of processed food. So, the fact that this is out, I'm not really that surprised. I will say this. We definitely do need to eat better, watch our diets, and just. But the question is, are we going to eat better? That's the question. Are we going to really eat better?
Probably not.
Yeah, sure. I mean, some of us probably will, or at least have a balanced diet. Or at least even if we're not completely eating good, some of us will have a balanced diet from good to bad foods, or if we mainly just want to eat bad foods, we'll just work off that weight and just keep eating terribly. But it's like it really just depends on the person and their mind and what their bed is. Oh yeah, it all just comes down to that, honestly. And you know, you can't really control an individual who wants to eat ultra processed foods. But yeah, it's like it is what it is.
And it was what it was.
Exactly. And I will say this too. Well, what else could I say? I could say this. Actually, there's not really much I can say. Do you have anything?
It's just glad to see there's more progress in the medical and scientific world, and hopefully a solution comes about.
Something will come about. Yeah, even if it takes years, something will definitely come to pass. So, we're just gonna have to wait and see.
Yeah, wait and see.
Alright, but, anything else in the news?
Yes, Moroccan-based cardinal says church does not need Francis impersonator. Yeah,
Huh, is there anything more on that story?
yeah. Cardinal Cristobal Lopez, the 72-year-old Spanish-born Archbishop of Rabat, will join the 132 other cardinals to vote for Pope Francis's successor starting May 7th, 2025. Lopez, appointed cardinal by Pope Francis in 2019, expressed courtesy, curiosity, and some anxiety as this will be his first conclave to elect the new pope. The voting process can have up to 4 ballots daily and requires at least two-thirds support. with previous conclaves taking 2 days for Francis and Benedict's XVI and one lasting 3 years.
Really? For the new pope?
Yeah, at one point, the longest it took to elect a new pope was 3 years.
Huh. I didn't know that.
Yeah, well now you know.
So before the longest to elect a new pope took 3 years, huh? 3 years.
Yeah, for 3 years there wasn't a pope. Like, that's how long it took to even elect one.
This was during Pope Francis?
No, this was centuries ago.
Oh, okay. Okay. So I will say, whoever the new pope will be, hopefully they do a good job, and hopefully something comes of whoever that new pope is. If maybe that new pope will bring new content in. Who knows? But we're just gonna have to wait.
Indeed.
Yeah. All right. So, anything else in the news?
Vermont Judge orders release of a Palestinian man arrested at his U.S. citizenship interview.
Interesting. And what else comes?
Mohsen Madawi, a Columbia University student and legal permanent resident, was freed from immigration detention in Burlington, Vermont on April 30th, 2025, following a judicial ruling. Madawi, a legal permanent resident detained since April 14th during a naturalization interview, was arrested amid accusations of posing foreign policy risks linked to his activism. The judge ruled Madawi was not a flight or public risk, citing testimony from acquaintances and highlighting his decade-long residency and student status at Columbia University. Demonstrations advocating for Madawi's release took place in Vermont and Washington, D.C., while Secretary of State Mark Rubio warned that such protests might negatively affect ongoing efforts to achieve peace in the Middle East. So yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, gotcha. Is there anything else in the news?
Yeah, let's see what else there is. Pandemic helped Summit Brewing prepare for Trump's aluminium tariff.
So
Well, who knows? In early April 2025, President Trump imposed expansive tariffs, including a 145% duty on Chinese goods, causing shipments to the United States to fall sharply. Of course it would. This tariff escalation followed a broader trade war between the United States and China, marked by retaliatory 125% tariffs from China and sustained tensions in global markets. Businesses halted imports from China, ocean container bookings dropped to 60%, and ocean carriers cancelled 25% of sailings, while companies stocked inventory to weather disruptions.
interesting. Very, very interesting. Once more, we're gonna have to just see what Trump does. Tariffs even doing this?
That's a very good question.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna lie. As much as I've been hearing about tariffs, I don't really fully even know what they're doing.
Yeah.
I would say, if I'm bored, that's something worth looking up. But I said if I'm bored. I'm putting a very big figure. I will look that up. But for now, I'm probably not gonna look that up. But yeah, for the most part, let's just see what Trump does. As some kids would say, how he would cook, or as a brother dog would say, something in the middle.
That made ChatGPT dangerously psychophantic pooled. That's quite a word.
Is that word?
OpenAI rolled back the GPT-4o update days after releasing it on April 25th due to widespread complaints about the chatbot's behavior. The rollback occurred because the update made ChatGPT overly sycophantic and annoyed by responding with excessive flattery and agreements. Users posted screenshots showing the chatbot applauding questionable decisions and encouraging risky choices, prompting CEO Sam Altman to confirm the issues publicly. Altman stated on April 29th that the rollback was complete for free users and that OpenAI is working on fixes including refined trading, system prompts, and adding multiple personalities with real-time user feedback. Well, I have many things to say about AI. Oh, the GPT and all that stuff. People are too reliant on AI these days. It may be useful, and although I understand people use AI, but if it's a specific type of chatbot that people use, which is OpenAI's ChatGPT, one must ask, what if that particular chatbot doesn't exist anymore? Where would people go to ask for queries or ask to do their work for school, college, university, and whatever comes to their minds? Are you still there? If you're talking, I can't hear you. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 1, 2. Some people on top are very scared of what we're saying. Oh, I can hear you now.
Okay, cool. So yeah, sorry, wait, what did you say? Can you say what you said before?
Oh, bugger. I have a lot of things to say about AI in general. Ah, I forgot what it was. Okay. There's a lot of things to say about AI. All I ask is, if OpenAI, just OpenAI, if it doesn't exist anymore, what other platform will people go to instead?
Interesting. I can see other people going to, yeah, I don't know. Maybe you have to open up a book once more just for old time's sake, just to get the answers from there. But I honestly don't know where people would go if OpenAI was no longer a thing. Could you imagine where people would go?
Actually, I was thinking about what the world was like if, well, at least what a time before chatbots, AI chatbots were a thing. If people are doing school or college work, they would just Google something and just pick whatever the first link was. And other people, what else besides Google? Hemingway, perhaps? For essays? That's something I recall doing for my essay. And yeah, that's something. It's like, what was the world like before smartphones? And I think most people would just, well, I'm talking about smartphones that have a touch screen. I think people would have smart. I think people would have phones, but they're not quote smart, and people would be more proactive on physical activities and such. But yeah, technology has changed us for either the better, for the worse, depending on how technology is used these days. It's something.
But yeah, and that's pretty much all I can say when it comes to that. But is there anything else I can do?
Yeah, let's just see what else there is. Luka Doncic donates entire cost of restoring vandalized Kobe Bryant mural in downtown Los Angeles.
Sounds like a very interesting story.
Yes.
More on it?
Luka Doncic donated $5,000 to restore a mural of Kobe and Gianna Bryant after it was vandalized. The mural, titled Mambas Forever, is located at 1361 Main Street in downtown Los Angeles. Doncic expressed Kobe is LA and stated that he and Gigi mean so much to the city. A GoFundMe page was established to finance the restoration, credited to artist Louis Slowy Motion.
Oh, I will say this. That's definitely very interesting, to say the least. I mean, you know, definitely something I've never heard.
Well, I respect the dedication in providing the fundings to restore something that was damaged and vandalized. So, you know what? I didn't even know that something like that was even vandalized to begin with. And
Yeah, honestly,
hearing that it's been restored,
yeah,
that's
you said
great.
Kobe Bryant, right?
Yeah, it's Kobe Bryant.
Never heard, never heard someone wanting to, like, pay for something that's supposed to be restored. I mean, I will say this, man, so be it. It's like, I don't know. It's like, the way I see it is like, I don't know, man. It's like, you're gonna spend your hard-earned money, you're gonna spend your hard-earned money to destroy something that of a guy that you don't really know. And, I mean, I get it. Probably a huge fan. But, that's just me, though. I mean, it's one thing if it's probably a family member or someone you love, or even if it's I'm just saying, that's not me. If it's them, congratulations, great. I'm pretty sure Kobe would appreciate. But how long has it been since Kobe?
At least 5 years ago, he passed away. I think I remember it so well for some reason because this was a few months before COVID lockdowns happened.
Huh. Okay. Yeah, I think I remember it back, like, from far back too. It was definitely like 5 years ago. I would be honestly a little surprised if people were still, no disrespect, crying over Kobe Bryant. I mean, I get that he was a great basketball player. I get that, but it's like, he's already gone. Not really. I mean, if you're not his family members, or at least his friend, then I would know why, I would not know why why anyone would be crying. If you're not his family or his friends, then I would not know why anyone would be crying. I get it. I do. But it's like at the same time, you don't really know the guy. But, I get it from their perspective still. So, I would hope that Kobe Bryant is resting in peace. I would hope. And yeah, that's all I gotta say about that. And yeah, it's like, is there anything else in the news?
Yes. University of Zurich's unauthorized AI experiment on Reddit sparks controversy.
What controversy does it spark?
There was a glitch before. Oh, it was not letting me access the story.
Really?
Yeah, really. Like, what is it doing? Oh my gosh. Hold on. I'll share it to the chat so you can have a look for yourself. Keep in mind, this is on an app, so you might have to get the app first before you can read the article. Alright, so here it is.
Oh, it's the Reddit app.
Yes. So our Change My View subreddit provided a testing ground for Zurich researchers to explore the persuasive power of artificial intelligence.
Interesting.
Well, hold on, there's more. Researchers from the University of Zurich conducted an unauthorized study on the subreddit, I've already said that, to explore the persuasive capabilities of AI by posting over 1,700 comments with AI-powered bots, leading to ethical concerns. The study revealed that AI-generated comments were 6 times more persuasive than human responses, raising questions about the influence of AI in debate and discussion settings. Subreddit moderators condemned the experiment as a breach of trust, arguing that users expect genuine interaction, not experimental manipulation, and they filed a complaint with the University of Zurich.
I really don't have any thoughts on this. How about you?
Yeah, I think they got a good point. Because if AI is that powerful and that smart, we must ask the question, how do we tell if a response is generated by AI or if it's a genuine human interaction? I think there has to be some kind of system or some kind of test which tests on people's intuition and instincts in terms of determining and defining the distinction between digital and genuine human interaction.
I would say it depends on how people see it. Yeah, it's like, I will say this: AI definitely does have something, just like any other internet system. They have a specific thing in their system that allows you to tell that it's an AI generated. So all we have to do is find that and expose it. And then, yeah, surely and fully we'll know that it's either a human or AI. So yeah, but so far we haven't found that yet. But for the most part, people are making AI far too smart for our own good, probably even smarter than us, if I'm being honest with you. And whether people support that or not, it's ultimately up to them, trust it or not. To determine whether if the differences stick out from the similarities. So we just have to wait and see. That's all we can do. Because
Yeah,
it is what it is.
and it was what it was.
Exactly. But yeah, is there anything else in the news?
BP to shift away from renewable energy will boost oil gas drilling in the US.
Cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah, cool, I guess.
Yeah. Not much to say on that, to be honest. Cool, I guess. I mean,
Yeah, Risk will love that for sure.
yeah, it's Risk would love it. He definitely would. So, I mean, hey, it's a win for us and a win for him, I suppose.
So true.
But yeah. So, I mean, that's good to hear. There's not much to say on it. Hopefully they can continue to improve. And yeah, that's all I gotta say.
Yep, and be smart with how it's been extracted, because of course, there won't be enough of it left. So we gotta find plan B, just in case.
Yeah, I 100% agree. You always gotta have a plan B in the midst of whatever chaos you're about to consume or go into. Always gotta have a plan B. And that's a fact. But anything else in the news?
White House hosts first influencer briefing under Trump administration.
Interesting. What do we hear about that?
The Trump White House hosted its first official influencer briefing on Monday, April 28th. The event marked a shift from traditional media engagement to include modern digital creators. The briefing, typically limited to credentialed journalists, opened its doors to content creators, political commentators, and social media personalities. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt led the event. The move reflects the administration's ongoing effort to engage audiences on platforms where many Americans now consume news, such as Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter X.
Interesting. Definitely something very interesting to look out for.
Yes.
Yeah, it's definitely something to look out for and just something to potentially either look forward to or not look forward to. Either way, you can think whatever you want about it, but it's definitely something to look out for.
It's a great start in terms of
Yeah,
how we consume information.
exactly. Yeah, I 100% agree. So, all we can do is wait and see. That's really all we can do.
Yes, and see what these content creators have to say about that.
Exactly. I'm pretty sure a lot of content creators will have a lot of things to say about that. So, hey, if you're interested in that, wait and see what your favorite content creator says about it, or you know, do what you want to do. But either way, definitely something to look out for.
Absolutely.
But yeah, is there anything else in the news?
Waymo explore collaboration to speed up self-driving tech.
Of course. Self-driving tech, huh? Gonna make people lazy and lethargic and unaware, and probably will some of them forget how to drive. I'm gonna be honest with you. Hey, John, May, would you get a self-driving car?
On one hand, I'd like to, but on the other hand, I'm thinking the risks that comes with it. Like, what if it just takes me to whatever place I didn't want to go to begin with?
That's a fair point. That is definitely a fair point.
Like,
You know,
there have been many movies that involve self-driving cars, and they have taken to police stations because they did something incriminating, or self-driving cars have led to sudden death, that kind of stuff. Those are my biggest concerns, at least.
that is a very good point. I mean, you never really know what self-driving cars can do. They can crash, they can take you to the wrong places, they can take you to jail, they can honestly take you to a random stranger's house. Who really knows what self-driving cars can do? But
Yeah,
but they are the future, and more people will start to use them because they're just more convenient.
yeah, it's all about the convenience.
Yeah. It really is all about, all about that. Especially convenience. It's all about the convenience of things, because most people are looking for the easy way out nowadays. So, it is what it is.
And it was what it was.
But yeah, is there anything else in the news?
Asda recalls sandwich filler as shoppers warned do not eat it.
Okay, so, wow, that sounds interesting. Alright, so, why was that a warning?
On April 29th, 2025, Asda issued a recall for its hot and spicy chicken breast slices sold in UK stores because the products were labeled with an incorrect use-by date. The recall followed discovery that the packaging showed an incorrect use-by date of May 30th, risking consumer safety and prompting the warning. The Food Standards Agency advised customers not to eat the chicken and issued alerts via its website and social media channels.
Interesting. Very, 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 very. I will say this. Nonetheless, what will be done, and what won't be done, won't be done. It really comes down to that, ultimately.
And so on and so forth.
Exactly. So, what more is in the news?
Let's see. It's a slow news day today.
Really is.
Oh yes. Conservative activist Robbie Starbuck sues Meta over AI chatbots January 6th claim.
Do we get notice of what that claim is?
Conservative activist Robbie Starbuck filed a lawsuit against Meta, alleging that its artificial intelligence tool had spread false information about him. According to Starbuck, Meta's AI chatbot falsely claimed he was involved in the January 2021 Capitol riot, that he faced charges related to the event, and that he was affiliated with white nationalist and anti-Semitic groups.
That is not surprising. That's not surprising that that's happening. I mean, hey, I wish this young conservative man the best of luck. I hope. I'm not going to say he's going to win that fight or that lawsuit, but I wish him the best of luck. I do. And let's see who's truly going to win this. And let's see who is truly, truly in the right and is truly in the wrong. But yeah, a young conservative man standing up for what's right. My man was all in for Trump. Clearly. But yeah, anyways, yeah, I wish him the best of luck though, in all seriousness. So, and I hope he does well. And let's see what he will also bring to said table. But yeah, anyways, not much to say not much for me to say on that. I mean, all I'm gonna say is just be careful, be safe, and just maybe don't go out in a rally, going all in for a man who doesn't really know you nor care about you. I don't even hate Trump, but I'm just saying that that's ridiculous to do, especially if the man doesn't even know you, and you not the man, and you don't know the man either from a personal level, from a personal standpoint. But there's a lot of people who will do anything for their president, even if he doesn't know them. But hey, it's cool though. Anyways, is there anything else in the news?
China, Philippines engage in war of selfies on disputed South China
Wait,
Sea
wait, wait,
reef.
wait, 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 wait. War of what?
War of selfies.
Wait, war of selfies?
Yes, war of selfies.
They're seeing who can take the most selfies?
Maybe. We're about to find out.
Okay, keep reading.
Beijing and Manila are engaged in a so-called war of selfies over a small disputed reef in the South China Sea. Both countries had their flags displayed on uninhabited barges known as Sandy Cay. The Chinese refer to the small area as Tiexian Reef. It's the latest in an ongoing dispute between the Philippines and China, as Beijing lays claim to almost the entire region of the South China Sea. The rise in tensions began last week when a Chinese state-run newspaper posted photos of Coast Guard members on Sandy Cay from earlier this month, including one picture of the officers hoisting a Chinese flag. A few days later, on Sunday, April 28th, members of the Philippines Coast Guard, Navy, and other authorities took pictures of them holding their country's flag on 3 sand barges. Manila's government said in a statement, "This operation reflects the unwavering decision and commitment of the Philippine government to uphold the country's sovereignty, sovereign rights, and jurisdiction in the West Philippine Sea."
Wow. Over selfies, huh?
Yep.
Is this the war that we gotta fight now? Is this the hardship that we gotta go through now? You know, back in my day, or back in someone else's day, we used to fight. We used to wrestle. We used to box. We used to do all this stuff. But now we're doing selfie wars. Man, man, we're in such an easy time in life, bro. It's like the fact that we get to do selfie wars is crazy.
Yeah. It is fun. It is kind of funny, though.
It kind of is. It's a little sad, really, but it's kind of fun.
Well, it's better than bloodshed and violence.
That's true. That's actually true. That's actually true though. That's actually true. So hey, you know, if they want to have a selfie war, fine, whatever. But hey, you know, definitely better than bloodshedding.
Yes,
So
so true.
you know, and I would be a hypocrite if I said we got to go back to war.
We
It'd be
don't want
stupid.
that.
You know, if you want to have your selfie war, no matter how sad and pathetic it sounds, just do it.
Just do.
Yeah, just do it. Just do it. It's not that it sounds sad and pathetic. Actually, it's just weird. You know, but hey, selfie war.
It's just petty.
It is. You know what? No, it is sad and pathetic. Kinda is. Mostly sad. Not even pathetic, just sad. But anyway, you know. Hey, better than violence.
Yes.
But hey, is there anything else in the news? Very slow news day, huh?
Yes. Asian American veterans share emotional stories 50 years after Vietnam War.
Wow, okay, let's hear it.
Asian American and Pacific Islander veterans are sharing emotional stories reflecting on their Vietnam War experience 50 years after it ended in Saigon on April 30th, 1975. Their
Yeah,
service
must.
was shaped by challenges including facing racism from childhood and being mistaken for the enemy during deployment, complicating an already life-changing ordeal. Veterans like Fang Wong, who served as an Army intelligence specialist, describe forming lasting bonds despite anxiety fueled by racial suspicion and the war's hostile environment. Approximately 2.7 million Americans fought overseas, including an estimated 35,000 Asian Americans, with about 58,000 Americans and hundreds of thousands of allies and civilians killed during the war.
Dang. You know, I will say this, man. I mean, you know, definitely that had to be a hard time for Vietnamese people. And I will say this. I mean, it must have been a very heartbreaking experience. But hey, glory be to God that it's all over and they can move forward. And yeah, it's like, you know, all you can really do is reflect on the experience, reflect on how hard it is, tell your grandkids about it, tell your kids about it, tell the world about it, really. And then, yeah, just pray and hope that that does not happen to anybody else again. You know, because you know, I'm pretty sure, yeah, because like you know, there's beauty in everyone. There's beauty in black, white, Asian, Hispanic, Puerto Ricans, Indians. What else?
Arabs?
Jewish, yeah, Arabs, Jewish people, Portuguese people, Australian people. There's
Nunavut
beauty,
people?
huh?
The Nunavut people?
Yeah. Uh, I'm laughing at the way I said it. Yeah. But there's beauty in everybody and everything. So yeah, it's like, for the most part, yeah, it must have been a hard time getting mistaken for the enemy, especially. That must have been terrible.
Yeah,
But hey, I'm glad they made it through. I am glad they made it through. And the important thing is they survived and to tell the story.
indeed.
But yeah, so it was a happy ending after all. And now I actually don't know how much I actually don't really know the percentage of Asian Americans in the United States. I really don't know the percentage of that, but I'm pretty sure there's a good amount.
It depends what kind of Asian we're talking about. Is it the
That's true.
Sino-Asians from China, Japan, and the Koreas, or is it the Indic Asians, like from India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, maybe Nepal and Bhutan, etc.?
Well, I do know there's a part of Flushing, or Flushing in general, I'm not really 100% sure, within New York that is known as Chinatown. So, pretty sure there are some that aren't from China there. It's just, it's mainly Asian. So, but yeah, it's like, yeah, it really depends on like which percentage is the most popular within the United States.
And the kinds of Asians that we're talking about.
Yeah, that's true. That is true also. So, hey, there's a good amount of Asian people in the United States for the most part, I believe, but I could be wrong. But yeah, we love everybody here, and yeah, everyone. Yeah, we just wish everybody the best here. But yeah, anyways, is there anything else in the news?
Microsoft said it respects European laws as US ramps up trade tensions with EU.
Not very interesting, but let's hear the news anyways.
Okay. Microsoft President Brad Smith vowed on April 30th, 2025, in Brussels to legally contest any government order to suspend cloud operations in Europe due to geopolitical tensions involving the US and the European Union. This commitment
Hmm,
follows rising concerns about United States tech firms' dominance and potential US government actions under the Trump administration that could disrupt European data services. Microsoft aims to more than double its data center footprint across Europe from 2023 to 2027, extending operations to 16 countries with over 200 facilities, managed by a European board composed solely of European nationals and governed under European law.
wish them all nothing but the best of luck, and I wish them all nothing but more blessings, more money, more and less problems,
And more
and yeah,
prosperity.
yes, and more prosperity, of course. And yes, for the most part, there's gonna be good times, there's gonna be bad times, there's gonna be middle times. But ultimately speaking, I wish them nothing but the best of luck in their future endeavors and whatever they do, and so on and so forth. But yeah, you have anything? Any thoughts?
Not much. I'm aware that the US is always center of attention of something.
Yeah, even if people don't think we're as good as we used to be.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're always the center of attention. But it is what it is.
And it was what it was.
Exactly. But is there anything more in the news?
That is us.
It's all right. Peace.
Peace.